Plaintiff Carrie Borkowski says when she met the defendant, she lived to party. However, the defendant turned her life around after she had a child. Carrie's suing because she claims the defendant's son damaged her computer. Defendant Dorothy Fee says the first time she met Carrie, she was hitting on Dorothy's boyfriend at a strip club. Dorothy feels Carrie is controlling and manipulating, and she insists Carrie's witness's daughter damaged the computer, so Dorothy refuses to pay.
Tell me what's going on.
Well, it started back in 2010 when I met Dorothy. She was a current roommate with my witness, Dawn, at the time. I do not really know her that well. We are just acquaintances, Facebook friends, never really talked. I do know that she used to go to music festivals. She had a very partying lifestyle, but she had a kid, and I knew she was starting to grow up. Fast forward another year, I graduate nursing school and I run into Dorothy here. And by this time, she was entered into the LPN nursing program. She was getting her stuff together, which I'm very proud of you for. She was getting her life together. I mean, I even tried to help her. I gave her my nursing books. Here you go to study, call me. We'll fast forward a whole nother year into 2012 of March. And there was a local band of ours called King of the Tramps. Not the tramp like the girl that runs around, more like the guy that wanders around
Guys
the land.
can be tramps.
Yeah. We were all friends with these guys, and they were performing in Kansas City. So Dorothy, friends with my witness, came down and stayed at our house. While me, Dorothy, and Dawn went downstairs, we're trying on outfits, seeing how it looked, trying to get dressed up for this, make it a nice big party. The kids were upstairs. The laptop was by the TV, up on a shelf.
Before we get to the specifics of the laptop, let me allow her to give some background. Ma'am?
The first time I ever met her, before I knew who she was hitting on my boyfriend when he was DJing at the strip club in the town we lived in.
How did he respond?
He just kind of brushes people off.
Okay. How did you find out?
Because he told me.
Okay.
Your Honor, who was your boyfriend?
My boyfriend was Corey.
I don't even know Corey. Okay, I'm
Anyhow,
sorry.
she tries to perceive herself as higher class than everyone else. She carries her prissy little dog around like the lady off the Beverly Hills, Real Housewives. She tries to manipulate and control people in order to make herself look better.
How so?
She sent my current boyfriend now Facebook messages saying that she was throwing Dawn and her daughter a surprise party in order to get my information to serve me.
Okay. What else?
I did go down to Kansas City for that show that Friday night. We went to the show. Our kids were at a babysitter that next Saturday morning. We went and picked our kids up from the babysitter. And that's when Dawn's daughter was playing with the laptop on the floor.
Okay, I'm going to allow her to give me specifics on that. It's her lawsuit. Ma'am, tell me about the laptop.
Okay, we were downstairs getting ready. Next thing I know, her daughter comes running downstairs and says, "Something's wrong with your laptop." I'm just assuming that it was a frozen screen or something, so I just left.
How old were the children?
Miss Kiana was 8 at the time. 8, and I'm not sure about her son.
My son was 2.5.
And where were you all? You were on a different floor?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Kiana comes down and tells me this, and I just think that the screen is frozen up or something. So I go upstairs. And as soon as I got upstairs, her little son was holding a glass, but I didn't think anything of it till I walked up to look at the laptop, and there was significant water on it.
A glass? Where do you think he got a glass from?
Her daughter.
Her daughter got the glass from where?
From the kitchen.
Okay.
I walked up and there's water on the computer. I did not get upset. I tipped it over. I instantly called my boyfriend, who is like a computer genius, and was like, what do I do with it being wet? Because you can't throw it in a bag of rice like a cell phone. So he tells me, take it apart, put it over a vent or a fan, don't touch it for several days. So by this time, Dorothy and Dawn are walking back upstairs, and they ask what happened. I'm like, the computer's wet. And Dorothy walks right up to her son and is like, did you do this? And he even looked up and shook his head, and then all hell breaks loose.
2.5-year-olds go shake his head yes to anything you ask him, man.
But all hell breaks loose. Dorothy starts screaming.
Do you like poison? Go ahead.
But she starts screaming at her son, spanks him, which I would have done the same thing, but she literally starts screaming at him. I even got a statement, if you'd like, from my neighbors who could hear her hollering.
That's funny because I got an upper respiratory in 2010, and when I raise my voice, I lose it. I cannot raise my voice.
That's why you were spanking,
No,
like she
I did
says.
not spank him.
I hope not. That was popular in the old days, but sociologists and experts have determined that helps provoke violence in children. That teaches them to respond violently. If I did something wrong, mama hit me. So if you do something wrong to me at school, I'm gonna hit you. Makes sense. Go ahead.
She was hollering. I mean, it was understood. She was the one stating the rest of the time she stayed there, now I have to buy a bleeping new laptop. She even offered me her laptop, and I told her no because she was finishing nursing school. Take your laptop. You need it to study. Nursing school is very hard.
Are you finished?
Yes, I'm finished. I'm a nurse as we speak.
Oh, good. Congratulations. Yes. Now you can pay. Go ahead.
I have no doubt that it was an accident. I'm just asking, accidents do cost money, and that's what I'm asking for. And so, you know, I let my computer dry.
What you'd have to do is prove that she was negligent in supervising her child. Had she supervised her son, her 2.5-year-old son, then it wouldn't have happened. So if someone had been there with the 2.5-year-old.
Well, now Kiana's 9. 9. I do have the 9-year-old girl here if you'd like to speak to her.
You want your daughter to come here and speak?
If it'll help the case. She was the only witness that was there.
It certainly will. You want to have someone go and get her? All right. Ma'am, you tell me about the laptop incident.
Okay, that Saturday morning, after the whole King of the Tramp show and all that, I'd say about 10 o'clock, we went and picked our children up.
What time did you all leave the Tramps?
Pardon me?
What time did you leave the Tramps?
It was a show at the bar, so when the bar closed at 2, they all came back to Don and Carrie's house and had a party after that.
The Tramps came back to the house?
Yep. The following day, after all that...
Well, I want to know about y'all and them Tramps.
Just drank and hung out and whatever.
The child is in here, so we can't discuss what you did with the Tramps.
The day after that, about 10 o'clock, me and Dawn went and picked our kids up from the babysitter. We were all upstairs. I was helping clean up the bathroom. Kiana was on the floor playing the laptop with a huge glass of water. And Dawn came into the bathroom and proceeded to tell me that Kiana said that Jaden dumped water on the computer. I went and asked my son. He told me no. I said, we really can't prove any of this. It's a kid against a kid. I wanted to ease the situation when I was there, so I did offer her my laptop. She did refuse to take it. I'm pretty sure we got a hold of each other a couple days later and discussed that the computer was still working, so she was just fine with it. We even hung out June 8th at another King of the Tramp show while the computer was still working.
Go ahead.
Yep. And I do have those pictures to prove that we were hanging out 3 months later.
You have them? Please. And did she mention it to you?
No.
Your Honor.
And that was June 8th of?
2012.
Okay, over a year ago.
And then she didn't get back to me until April of this year when her computer finally died. And then that's when she started harassing me for the money.
Ma'am?
For one, I was not harassing. I'm sorry, Dorothy, if you thought it was. It was not harassment. I wasn't using my computer. It turned on, but it wouldn't even stay on for 10 minutes from the very get-go. And I have witnesses that would see me get extremely upset at my computer every time I tried to turn it on, and by the time I got on the internet,
and
boom, it turned off.
And that would be your witness.
This was my roommate, Dawn, and
up.
this is her daughter, Kiana.
State your name.
Dawn Hewen.
All right, what do you want to tell me about this?
Yeah, the computer didn't work right after. She's even got, she brought the computer in to get it looked at, and it shows there that it was ruined from water damage. The motherboard was fried from water damage, and she did try numerous times to get it to work. What discussion did you hear
immediately following?
Dorothy agreeing to help replace the computer.
Okay, but what about the allegation of who caused the...
There was no question. That's why Dorothy scolded her son, and she did yell.
According to your daughter, it wasn't a question.
Right. Well, she was the only witness in the room at the time. But Dorothy didn't think that her son did it, then why was... And she was screaming at him, so...
Were you screaming at your child?
No.
Yes, you were.
Yes,
hold on. You didn't admonish him at all?
I did say, did you do this? He said no. I said, are you sure you did not do this? He said no.
That's a lie, Your
Honor.
Honor.
And that's all?
Okay. Yes.
Your Honor, I do have a witness statement from my neighbor who was we live in a
neighbor
duplex.
interviewed the 2-year-old also.
No.
What is that?
It's just he even heard her screaming through the wall.
Through the wall. It was a girl's voice.
I don't know if I trust her neighbors because they're partiers too.
Split water on her. She was yelling at her child who was several years younger. I didn't want to know all that. She's next door. Young lady, state your name.
Kiana.
What do you want to tell me happened?
Well, I I was showing Jaden Carrie's computer, and he said, I'm thirsty. So I poured him a glass of water, and I told him to leave it on the table.
Maybe 2-year-olds are a lot more mature than I think. I have 4 children, and I don't remember at 2 years old them being able to say, would you pour me a glass of water here?
Because I'm thirsty.
Because I'm thirsty? Yeah. Is that in your child's vocabulary?
My kid does have a very good vocabulary, and he is very smart. So I could say he would be capable of that.
Okay, good enough then. So far, I gotta believe you. So go right ahead.
And I told him to set it on the table, and he didn't. He carried it with him. And he tripped over the basket in the living room, and it was a total accident. He did not try to.
But no one was there to supervise. I believe your child did it. If I believe she was negligent in supervising her child, I believe the young lady witnessed, so therefore I'll grant you the judgment. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you. Dorothy, I did try to make it go this far. I tried to settle for $300, Dorothy. I tried to get $300. That was it. You're a single mom.
I don't even want to talk to you. You're ridiculous.
You're lying is what you are.
I'm lying kind of like Dawn got kicked out of her apartment for Kiana drawing on cars with rocks. You really want to believe an 8-year-old that does that?
But what happened? She paid for it.
I paid the $600 for the car,
She paid for what her kid did.
Because that's what parents do, is they pay for something if their child destroys property.
Does it, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, shut up.
You're so not worth it.